Okay, so what makes a good headline is something that's short and snappy. It explains what it is that the media release is about. And then if you're any good with it, if you can make it have some kind of a funny side to it, like a pun, that would make it great as well. But ideally, it should be really 6 to 8 words maximum, so they can be nice and big at the top of the page, and that they somehow or other relate to the rest of your media release. Now, I'll just tell you a little bit story about somebody that we worked with, and in fact, if you've seen me do a talk, you've probably heard this story before, but it's just one of my favourites, I've got to tell you. So we were working with a picture framer, and he was trying to come up with some angles that we would be able to use. He was based in Melbourne, but I think he had Australian coverage. And we were trying to think of the sorts of advice that he might be able to put out there. And what we thought was, why don't you do a whole lot of tips on how people can hang their pictures up on the wall, the right kind of frames, the best way to secure them to the wall, etc., etc. And we created these 10 tips and gave it the heading of, "Are you well hung?" Well, what can I say other than this guy got about 30 articles up, and I'm sure it's because the headline would have made all of the journalists open it, whether they were male or female, possibly for different reasons, but would have given everyone a bit of a laugh, and that's really what works. They're getting a lot of boring, dry headlines day after day after day. Why not give them something that's a bit of fun? And I often think of things, the popular press, so things like the Herald Sun and the Daily Telegraph. Look at the headlines they use. They're always playing on words. So if you're able to do that kind of thing, that can be great. But otherwise, your rule of thumb is 6 to 8 words, fits on one line, explains what is in the media release. Off you go.